Welcome back to Evimero Academy. Today I'll be talking about the cell theory. The cell theory is a scientific theory that is universally accepted pertaining to cells. The classical cell theory is made up of three parts. Number 1. All living organisms are made up of one or more cells. 2. The cell is the basic unit of structure and organization in organisms. 3. Cells come from pre-existing cells. The parts of the cell theory are called tenets. The modern cell theory is made up of three main parts, adding to the previous three from the classical cell theory. All cells within the same species have the same basic chemical composition, energy flow occurs within cells, and hereditary information, or DNA, is passed from cell to cell. So what's the history behind the cell theory? Well, why don't we find out? In 1665, Robert Hooke looked at cork through a microscope. When looking at the cork, he found cells. He wrote about his discovery of cells in his book Micrographia. He named cells cells because they resembled cella, which was a word for small rooms monks used. However, the cells Hooke discovered were really only cell walls from plant tissue. He couldn't really see anything inside of the cell, like the nucleus, because the microscopes weren't that good yet. The picture you're looking at is Hooke's drawing of cells. In 1676, Anton van Leeuwenhoek wrote a letter to the Royal Society after he discovered that cells were living organisms. He used a better microscope than Hooke and found out that they were moving, so he figured out that they were alive. He called them animalcules. What you're looking at is the letter Leeuwenhoek wrote to the Royal Society. In 1839, Matthias Schleiden suggested that all plants have cells. Also in 1839, Theodor Schwann suggested that all animals are composed of cells. What Schleiden and Schwann suggested gave cell theory its first two tenets. In 1855, Rudolf Virchow, who is shown on the picture, added the third tenet to the cell theory. The third tenet is that all cells come from previous cells. However, it was claimed that he had taken the discovery from Robert Remak, who discovered it in 1852. Virchow did not give Remak credit for the idea. Now, a few more tenets have been added to cell theory, forming the modern cell theory. The modern cell theory contains four statements that were discovered after 1855. The classical cell theory consists of the three tenets that were discovered before and in the year of 1855. Thanks for watching this video, and I'll see you next time.